Hogan Lovells in DC is not only entrenched in the legal community, but it reaches broader communities through pro bono service, DEI initiatives, and responsible business activities.
As office administrator, I have had a front row seat to see our lawyers not only represent our pro bono clients in the courtroom, but also in the community.
When I think about Hogan Lovells pro bono commitments, I'm just flabbergasted. There are so many different ones, and I've been privileged to work in many.
Our impact on the Washington, D.C. area community continues to be so significant. We had at Hogan Lovells the first dedicated, full-time pro bono group that was led by partners of our firm who took their skills and their craft and for a period of years, not weeks or months, fully immersed themselves in pro bono service to members of our community.
When I think about why I joined the DC office, and really Hogan Lovells in general, the word legacy is what comes to mind for me. I remember going through the recruiting process and seeing that Hogan Lovells was the oldest, and at that time it was Hogan & Hartson, DC law firm. And then that same marketing material, it talked about how we had the oldest pro bono practice in the country.
It means having the opportunity and the resources to do life-changing pro bono and public interest work for our clients.
For me, it's a moment to reflect on our story. We had modest beginnings here in Washington. Our founders were imaginative and creative, yet they were principled and they carried a set of team values that we continue to embrace today. What we've built here in Washington is exceptional. And with 120 years under our belt, it comes with great responsibility. A responsibility to be a good citizen in the DC community and to continue to improve the lives of others by effecting positive change.
My favorite story to tell about Hogan Lovells is how the pro bono department was created. There was a group of associates in the DC office that went to management and said, it feels like the world is burning down. And in some places, it literally was burning down. And it is unreasonable that we, as people of such privilege, are not doing more with what we have, with our talents, with our abilities to give back in this time of great unrest. And to its credit, the Hogan & Hartson management said, you know what, you're right. And they went to Harvard and they got a professor and they brought him back and they used him as the foundation for the very first pro bono practice in the entire world. That moment, that seeing a problem, creating something brand new that has now been a part of our legacy, when I think about Hogan Lovells and when I think about the DC office in particular, that's what I think about. Seeing a problem and creating a legacy to solve that problem.
The one that will stand out in my mind to my last dying breath is this firm's representation of the state of Minnesota in the murder of George Floyd. I led the team. We stayed in Minneapolis during the height of COVID, during the trial. We were there every single day, making sure that the record was preserved, that our witnesses were doing exactly what they were going to say, and ultimately led to the murder conviction of Officer Derek Chauvin for the murder of George Floyd. I've had all sorts of hard cases in my life and cases that people call must-win litigation. This was truly must-win litigation.
As evidenced by our recent mealpacking event where partners, associates, summer associates, business team member, interns came together to package over 44,000 meals for our local community. I am excited for what we will continue to do in the future and 120 more years to go.